I wanted to jam him.
Jack, what sniper crosshair do you use? Do you use any mods for your crosshairs?
Just Jimbo.
Jimbos? I use Jimbos as well. By the way, I'm Rookhill, throwing it out there. Oh,
I
wait.
think your mic muted.
No, sometimes I'll just not say things to you that I don't feel relevant to you guys, like introducing myself to the chat repeatedly.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I need them to know that this is Rookhill and not Mallard or Jack. So we roll up again, right up to the backside here. That's, and we have cover from Millard, you back there. You take your shot, but unfortunate bounce. Now, oh, I remember this one.
Yes.
I waste a shell right into this. I do this, I think, 2 times maybe. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to waste like 2 shells into the, just not zeroing and getting too aggressive. Now, right here, I'm caught out. Like, right here, I'm out in the open. I can't get back far enough because Doppler's going to get me. And then Savagey is coming in, so if I back up further, I'm going to take more damage. So I roll forward. This is kind of the part where I'm going to start dying. They're going to take the unintentional bait, and I get a nice bounce off from Doppler. Jack rolls up. You guys get nice focus damage. And then here, I'm just about reloaded, and Doppler gets the finish me. So Doppler then has the nice flank shot right behind you, Millard. But you are smart, and you roll up.
Bummer thing was there, kind of saw that situation coming a little bit beforehand, but I failed you there and actually didn't call it out. On the bright side, Jack is in the back, really doing yeoman's work.
Yeah,
he's
he's
all his shots home.
He made all of the shots count, and I think he's the MVP for this round pretty much. Millard, you do a pretty good job here. Unfortunately, because Jack didn't get that other shot on, Doppler's not afraid enough of your gun to not come up. So what happens is he gets the free shot on you, takes the damage, and rolls with it. He then tries to roll away. So he's trying to get out of here now. And Jack is in hot pursuit. So
And in a T29, honestly, hot pursuit's going to be hitting about 35 compared to around 50 in a T20. So if in some way the T20 can actually get away or get to the buildings, his superior camo and speed could potentially let him draw this out. But clearly the T20 doesn't actually end up trying that.
yep. I'm going to look at this from about T20's angle, because we didn't get to look at his angle. So he's actually got a really hard shot here, and he's got the strike damage. Jack uses his repair kit, puts it right into Doppler, and then he closes the distance. Now, Doppler's smart, and he goes for another good track shot. Then he goes for the circle strafe. Now, if this were any tank that wasn't other than a T29, Doppler would have gotten it. Now, he would have been strafing uphill, and he wouldn't have won at that point. He would have lost out on the speed, and then the turret traverse would have caught him. So, in the end, I think Doppler wouldn't have been able to do it, but if it were on flat ground, Doppler could have been able to pull it off. So, there's a clutch from Jack. So, good job, Jack. So, we're on to battle number 4. So, at this point, the score is 2-1, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So, Team Plaid, us, is up against the War, them. So again, we have Savagey, Striker, and Doppler versus Millard, Rookhill, and Jack.
This is the one where I'd be getting a ton of packet loss and kind of blew it for us. I just wasn't landing any shots that I needed to be landing and taking damage that I shouldn't have.
Part of the other problem is that Rookhill do a job that I knew how to do, when the reality was he actually hadn't been playing that side of the slope. So
Yeah, I had no idea what I was doing. And I'll take equal credit for just not being able to play the slope well, when I probably could have with just a tiny bit of just more application of thought. So at this point we roll up, Millard's in the back. I'm going to slow it back down to normal speed, and we roll up. Again, standard strat, no real variations here.
Besides taking this hill ground, there isn't really another great spot to run T29s on this map, and if you tried running something like 3IS, even though you have the alpha advantage, really not going to work against hold down T29s, so
Yeah.
You gotta take the slope if you want to win it.
Yeah, 3 T29s can really do some work. Now, maybe 3 T20s could have done it in some kind of weird, gimmicky way, but, was there any Artie allowed?
Yeah, actually, I think it allowed tier 5 already.
That would have
Might
been...
tier 4, actually.
That could have actually been really, really interesting. So, I come up and I waste a shot. Millard's in cover position. We're over here. I'm going to start playing the slope, but I don't know how to play the slope. This will be the first time I roll up on this part of the slope the whole tournament. So...
Coincidentally, the last, actually.
yeah. First and last time that you guys allow me on the slope. With good reason, alright? I'll throw that one out there. I've only played this part of the slope from the opposite side, and all I know is that I had a distinct advantage from the top side of the hill.
In retrospect, it would actually be putting you on the outside of Jack here, because the more to the right you go, the less steep the angle is, and the T-29 can just really work that like a boss. I'm over here on the left, trying to get their turrets turned so you guys can pop into the side, but obviously not successful.
Yeah, they're smart enough, and here at this point, we've got Stryker and Savagey right there, but Doppler, I believe, is going to be around to the where I'm pointing forward right now. And I'm gonna not be able to get enough shots to connect. Like, I'm just not gonna connect enough shots. And what's gonna happen is Doppler, here we go. I see it, we spot him going out to the right. And this is what I was talking about when I tried to communicate. Doppler will be able to come up and give deal free damage pretty much whenever we fire down on Stryker and Savage. So, I'm going to go out here a little too far, and Doppler is going to take free damage. That's a huge mistake on my part. I'm too aggressive, and I'm almost ignoring Doppler. So Doppler's going to deal free damage. I'm trying to get out here just to put damage out, but I back off. And you guys start doing the trading as well. But clearly it's not quite in our favor at this point.
No, all of us are about half HP. Just not going to be that good team if you're down the HP pool. This is the first 329 look from the enemy team. Unfortunately, 329 look in this set of games against River of Blood. We just didn't quite have it there.
They actually, yeah, because up to this point we'd actually, I think, you know, our T29 play hadn't been perfect, and we've been able to get away with it because of a T20 in the mix, because it's not able to bounce shells on its turret. Yeah. And so I'm up here, out in the open pretty much. If Doppler decides to come up, which he's holding back, he's really just waiting to counter me at this point. He's going to come up in a second and get me, but I'm going to try down on Stryker, and I'm going to bounce. I'm wasting all of my shells. I haven't made a single connection on top here. You guys are making connections. I get desperate at this point, and I go for Stryker. I take a second to get my shot. I actually get it. But now what happens is Savagey sees that the two of you are really fucked up. Most of us, well, all of us were one-shots. And we start going down, one at a time.
I think I even bounced my shot here on Savagey.
Possibly.
Nope, looks like I found it in mine. Hey, I did better than I thought.
Yeah, well, you said you pen him one more time, but then Doppler comes in. And Doppler hasn't taken a single hit all game. So he's perfect. You're... well, let's just go with, I don't think you could have reasonably clutched that match.
Not at least...
Not in that position. Well, not from that position and not with a heavy tank. Let's just... they'd have to fail hard. That's all they'd... yeah. Alright, so that is 4 battles, and it's 2-2 each side. So, the first win went to them, then 2 in a row for us. Right? Then one more loss.
Yes, and then one more from them.
Yep.
And now it's 2-2 winning match.
Yep. And now it's the final match. Someone has to win, unless we draw. Wait, or is it skirmish, so it's rule 5 matches max?
No, you can actually draw.
Okay. I didn't remember which tournaments, because I know there are some that are 5 max. So, yeah, we can go to like...
This one was like 8 or 9 max.
Gotcha. You can't draw more than like a few times, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because everyone loves to play for a draw.
I remember one tournament where we didn't actually try to play for draws. What happened was we just kept getting draws. Like, the maneuvering and the battling and the playing around with each other, you know? It just took all of 15 minutes. And we kept doing that. And also, we actually tied like 2 of them by simultaneously capping or killing each other. Alright, so we've got 3 T-29 setups again. Still Savage, Striker, and Doppler. Still Millard, Rookkill, Jag. There are 2 other people on our team. Rella isn't here, and neither is Illusion. I don't know who else is present for War's team, Savage, Striker, and Doppler, if they're just the 3 that show up. But no one subs anyone in for all of the games. And we've got a consistent team going.
Nice thing is we've run Miller, Jack, and Rookkill multiple times so far. I think it's the team that's shown up most nights. One night we ran Rella a little bit, one night we ran Illusion. Besides that, it's pretty much been us 3, and I think that gives us some nice synergy going into these games, and a little bit, possibly better communication.
Certainly
well
we're more
maybe
comfortable.
smack talk on comms.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. I think at this point we're pretty much completely comfortable with each other. Well, mostly at least. I think if we were with each other for a few more tournaments, we'd understand our playstyles and intentions and the way we think a little better. But at this point, we're working pretty well as a team. We're automatically getting into position. I'm only asking whenever I need stuff just for the total confirmation. Like, that is the only reason we ask questions almost. I get in a good cover position. I actually haven't seen us use this. I've only seen enemy teams use this because I just know it's there. Because if you look, you've got a really great hull down here. You can't even see me. I've got great bush cover. And if an enemy pushes out far enough to try and get at Jack, they're probably pushed out easily for me to get them. So we just sit still for a minute. Millard's talking about what he wants us to do, and I start moving, maybe prematurely, to try and get ready for it, because Millard wants us going somewhere. At least I don't take damage from ramming it. I was afraid I would do that when I ran into you. It's like, oh god, if I take damage, that's like, if anyone catches fire, that could be it. Yeah. So, Millard and myself are ready to go forward. Jack is still suffering, I think, from some packet loss, and tries to opt out of it so he can get into the snipey snipes.
We actually looked at subbing Jack for this game, and possibly even the previous game, because he was having packet loss, but we had no subs on, so he had to play through the pain.
So we move up, and we start moving up. Now, there's one thing I have about this whole position we get into. We get into a really weird position, like right here, backside of the hill, pretty exposed, and we stop. We want Jack to come up, which is cool and all, but we stop, and we get spotted. We do move up, and they don't get to take advantage of our mistake, but that was one of the spots where they could have taken advantage of our position, and certainly dealt a little damage and made it uneven. Now we start playing the backside of the hill, and I start trying to grab the high ground. Millard's telling me to get the high ground. Jack and Millard are going to go around to the left here, and they're going to grab turrets. I'm going to get free damage for the rest of the game. I'm going to slow this down to half speed. There's my shot. And we're going to see them all dancing around. And we're dancing around as well. So, I'm going to keep jockeying up here on the top of the hill, and Millard,
Me and Jack at this are basically just looking to drag turrets. I think I even called that out.
Yeah.
So we're not looking to especially deal damage. We just need to get the turrets looking our way.
Yep.
And let Rookkill carry from the top, because they really did have some great positioning.
yeah, this position right here I think is really great, especially where they are, because the thing is they stay. Now they start to back off here. They start to back off in this area and start to go back over, but I can still get decent shots down. Now, when they get back far enough, what will happen is I will lose that position that I have, and I'm going to bounce actually 2 shells here. After that, I think I get to put damage out pretty much straight up.
I think at this point, I keep telling you to try to grab the high ground, and I just poke around the edge. Because as they back off from the hill slope like that, they're actually giving free shots for me out around the edge. Like, I gotta poke a little bit, but they've kind of lost the hold down a little bit.
Yeah, I realize at this point that I can't peek up and over without exposing myself. So, Shim Gaming, I'm going to be doing some live stuff maybe later. But right now, I'm just going to try and put on a show here for the tournament. We just got through with it, so yeah. So right now, I'm shifting over. We haven't taken any damage between any of us. And I'm moving over to try and get a good position. Now, if they'd been able to perceive that I was doing that, they might have pushed into you guys, and they might have been able to even it up between 3 guns and me not being able to get in position. So now I just start putting shots out, and I'm gonna miss another shot. Excuse me for that. It happens.